Muslims into Science and Islam. My name is Sarah. I have a little bit of ADHD, a little bit of autism. Let's get started. What if I told you that almost every human struggle can be placed in two categories: fear and grief? Fear of what might happen and grief over what has already happened. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us one of the most beautiful descriptions of his beloved servant. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ, which translates into there will be no fear concerning them, nor will they grieve. And think about that. No fear, no grief, no anxiety about tomorrow, no regrets about yesterday. And that's not just a promise of Jannah. It's literally a blueprint for inner peace. And let's be honest, most anxiety is not happening like right now. It happens in our imagination. What if I never get married? What if I lose all my money? What if my children struggle? What if things don't work out? Fear, it literally pulls us into like a struggle that only exists in our brain. And Allah is teaching us that the believer's heart is anchored somewhere different. Not in predictions, not in worst case scenarios, but in trust. One of the most misunderstood things in life is possibility. In quantum physics, there are many possible outcomes before an event unfolds, but only one of those becomes our reality. We can spend months worrying about an outcome that literally never happens. Human beings, the majority of us, treat possibilities like certainty, like they're actually gonna happen. And Allah constantly reminds us that we never know what tomorrow holds, but we insist on carrying a future that hasn't even arrived. Allah is so big on us staying mindful. Like, one of the things that he's constantly reminding us to do, and we don't pay attention to it much, is that he wants us to stay mindful. He wants us to stay in the present moment. There is no future because it hasn't arrived yet, and there is no past because it's already happened. We're in the present moment. Right now is the past. Right now is the future. We are literally creating it in this current present moment. Now let's talk about grief. Not healthy grief, because we all grieve things. I'm talking about when we grieve things from the past, like an ex or an ex friendship or relationship, just things that have already passed, and we're literally in this current moment still grieving it. And I'm not talking about like death of a very close relative or friend. No, just grieving things from the past. Mainly things that Allah have showed us over and over again that this is not for you. This is not for you. This is not for you. And we are still currently consuming our minds with it, replaying conversations, replaying betrayals, mistakes we've made, mistakes they've made. It's so important to understand how that affects who you are, and more importantly, who you will become. Because what your brain loves to do is stay in that loop and constantly think about those things. You wake up in the morning and it's all you can think about. You go to sleep and it's all that's where the struggle is. Most of us are physically present, but are mentally living in the past. You cannot create a good future for yourself if you are living in the past. Unless you're living in the present moment and staying in gratitude for what's happening right now, for who's in your life right now, things will never get better. You will just continue in that loop, and it'll just continue to hold you back from literally who you're destined to become. A fascinating idea in science is that systems are constantly changing. Time moves forward, the universe evolves, nothing, and I mean nothing, remains frozen. Yet many of us keep trying to emotionally return to a version of life that doesn't exist anymore. A version of life that Allah has shown you time and time again that's not, move on. There is so much better waiting for you. If you would just let it, if you would just let go, if you would just stay in the present moment, stay mindful, I emphasize on gratitude because there is no getting or having a better place in life without literally being grateful for where you are right now. Even if right now is not where you want to be or the great position to be, having gratitude for where you are is what elevates you into your next move. That relationship, the marriage, the opportunity, the job, the only way to create a better timeline for yourself is to let go completely. And Allah never said that we won't experience hardship. or that we won't cry or get hurt or get betrayed. Because even the prophets experienced this. We must not forget how Yaqub cried for Yusuf alayhi salam. We must not forget how Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was treated and how he buried his closest relatives. The difference isn't the absence of pain. Pain is inevitable. Difference is where your heart settles. Is your heart still connected to Allah? Is your heart still mindful of all the other blessings that He still kept for you? Yeah, He might have took that guy or girl in that relationship from you, but He kept so much more. In quantum physics, the observer changes what they experience. Now, I have to be careful with this one because quantum physics doesn't prove manifestation, but it does show something really interesting, that the way a system is examined affects what information is available. So, what we consistently focus on literally shapes our reality. And guess what? You focus on loss, what Allah took from you, you will experience more loss. You focus on fear, you'll experience more fear. But if you can just simply shift your focus to Allah, His mercy, His wisdom, His provision, your perspective will change. Now, the circumstances, they might not immediately, but your perspective will. That inner peace will be there. Because fear just pulls you into a future that hasn't even existed yet. Grief will continue to trap you in the past. We have to understand that Allah exists outside of both. The believer's heart learns to live in the present with Allah, trusting Him with tomorrow, accepting Him in yesterday, and walking with Him every step of the way today, right now, this current moment. فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. He repeats that so many times for us and tells us exactly who it's for, because it's not for anybody. Right before He says this, He tells us exactly what to do and how to feel and how to be. Because at the end of the day, and what's most important, is that whatever's coming in our future, Allah's already there. And whatever's happened in our past, Allah's already there too. So meeting Him in the present moment, literally where peace exists. So remember, fear comes from forgetting who controls the future, and grief comes from forgetting who controls the past. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and share this with our ummah, and come back for more.